moves us on to what do we do next. And what we do next, guys, is quite simple. We build ourselves a full bronze squad, including the bench. I did have to go and buy 2 players. I bought these strikers for 200 coins each. Obviously, bronze players right now are very cheap. And we're going to take these bronze players and complete this objective. And that objective, guys, is going to be actually in the milestone category, and it is the bronze squad mastery. It's very easy. Play 5 matches with the bronze team, win 6 matches with the bronze team, score.
I'm taking you.
Yeah.
Just give me a little heads up. It's 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
On the doubt.
Bronze player in 10 separate matches in any game mode, and win 15 matches with an all-bronze squad in any game mode. How can you do that quick? Obviously, you want to get your team built up very easily. Well, it's quite simple. All you have to do is go and play against a friend, invite the friend into a game, they let you score, they back out. Repeat that 15 times, and you'll have this done in around 20 to 25 minutes. I know a lot of people might not have friends, so if you don't have a friend to do this with, go enter my Discord, guys. The Discord is in the description, discord.gg/Nepenthes, and go and find somebody in there that will help you, because you'll be able to return the favour to them, and both of you will get the win. So I'm going to go and get that done right now, and we'll be back with all of these packs saved. And then after you've done that with the bronze players, you then want to go and do that with the silver players too. So you go and build yourself a silver team. Again, you might have to buy some silver players at 200 coins each, which you should have easily from just playing the game up until that point, from match coins, from complete other random objectives that you will just get through playing the game. I've barely done anything at the moment, and I've completed 4 objectives, right? So you'll get a full silver team quite easily, and you the same thing with the silvers, and that will leave you with this. And what?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't have to be mopped.
There is lots wrong because you've got clothes right in the corners of the bed. Can you come and do that now?
I don't need it mopped. We need to hoover it.
Excuse me?
I don't need it mopped. We need to hoover it.
I want that table cleaned as well. Do you? The spray, not the wipes. The spray, the net, and the towel. That's
Okay.
the blower rag.
Okay.
Yeah, and you clean it.
Okay.
Is, guys, is 36 complete objectives, 19 transfers, and 21,000 coins. So a lot of the golds that we packed in those first packs, guys, have sold. I did go and buy a whole bunch of silvers for doing the silver squad. I bought all but 2 of them actually, so I'm going to go and relist those and sell those back on for 200 coins, which will net us another few thousand back. And of course, guys, don't forget to sell your kits and badge, because it's another nice, easy way to get some coins. You will, throughout doing the early stages of objectives and milestones, get some free kits that are untradeable. And so pop those on, sell the kits that you got from the start of the game, and enjoy a few extra coins. And guys, EA don't have a claimable button, which is a pain, but go and claim all of the content that you've got. And once you've claimed all the content that you've got available just from doing those bronze and silver objectives, you'll be left with this amount of packs, and that is 14. Now I've still got 11 objectives that are unclaimed, guys, because it's just the vanity items that I'm not going to claim right here. And then go ahead and open the packs. And of course, I would urge you guys, if you're watching this video before 6 PM on Friday the 30th of September, I would urge you guys a lot to save your packs until 6 PM. Ones to watch promo starts at 6 PM, and there is going to be a full complement of players this time around from EA, because we are only having a 1-week ones to watch event this time. So go ahead and open your packs, and what this is going to do is set you up for the next step of FIFA 23 Ultimate Team, and at that point is like your oyster. So for me, guys, one of the most primary things to do when FIFA is first released is get your team to go and start playing the game, right? We're going to get boards out of this pack. That's quite nice. It's going to be a centre back from Juventus. It's going to be Benucci 84, which is real nice. And so, they're no longer playing for the same team, but the boys are back. Love to see that. Chiellini and Benucci together. Yeah, basically what you're gonna, what this does here, guys, is allow you to build out your initial team and have gold cards to do either matchups, sell that tradable content to continue amassing a coin balance. And the reason why I think it's important to continue amassing a coin balance is because from these packs that you open here, you're not going to get exactly the players that you want. You might get 3 or 4 or maybe 5 or 6 players that can comfortably get into a team, but you're going to want to have some players, some positions that are unfilled or utilised with really poor players. You're going to want to improve those players, and so you're going to want to use your coins for that, in my opinion. So I would definitely go and use the untradeable players that you've got and put them into marquee matchups, get those tradable players back, sell those on, or if you get a banger, use it of course, but otherwise sell those players on. And once those players have sold, come on, give us a walkout, EA. Once those players have sold, you can then go and use the coins to do either improving your squad, or what a lot of people tend to do is the hybrid leagues and nations. I personally would advise against doing hybrid leagues and nations right now because the prices of certain players, Frimpong's a really nice player to get.
Good afternoon to
about 10, 15k, but he's just a good one to get with that pace and dribbling. Yeah, hybrid league and nations guys right now are just a little bit expensive. So 4 packs each. What are we going to get? Is it going to be any good for us? So we'll walk out from now on. Of course, you can tell me this is walk out by a few different ways. The way I look at it is when you open the pack, if the lights on the stadium on the left-hand side or right-hand side lift up, which they haven't, it's the least aboard. See the lights down the middle of the stairs? If they move away to the left like they have done here, see how it's like pushing towards the back left screen, it means it's not a walkout. If that light moves off to the right, it means it is a walkout, which of course is very, very nice. So we have got 250k packs, guys, and it has taken us from the moment we started this account less than 45 minutes. And we are going to get Wilfred and Didi in this pack as an 84 rated. We're also going to get Isco, Saka, Isaac, Bemba. That is a pre-450k pack. We're going to discard those boys for now. Obviously, you guys don't have to. You can just utilise those at 50k pack number 2. And that is going to give us no walkout again, but forwards again. Argentina, right wing. Juventus is going to be Angel Di Maria. So another 84 rated. So we have got a whole bunch of 84 rated cards. Oh, we're getting 4. Very nice. Richiche is quite nice as well. Of course, this is another pre-4 pack, which again is why I would definitely keep, utilise points in terms of improving the squad. But the next steps are quite simple. So you've got your options now, like I said, guys. Step 1 is go into building challenges, go do the foundations, 1, 2 and 3, go and do your marquee matchups, and of course if you want that Marcus Rashford, we've just packed a load of players put in there. But go do your marquee matchups, sell those players, improve your team. Alternatively, you could use the points that you've got to start doing the hybrid nations and leagues. The problem is this year is these packs are untradeable, so you can no longer sell the content you get back to do the next one, so you have to manage your coins a little bit better. So what my suggestion would be is to build your squad, which will have our squad looking like this. And of course, this is just the best of what we've got so far. We've got a couple of loans in the team, which isn't ideal. We've got ourselves a couple of slow centre-backs in the team, which isn't ideal. And we don't have too much chemistry. So utilising the coins that you've got, go and buy some players that make sense to improve the team and start getting involved in the gameplay, because after completing just some games, whether that be squad battles games, whether that be rivals games or for champs qualifiers games, or of course going into draft, you will complete a monster amount of objectives which will just continually help enhance your club. The other thing that I would suggest for people to do right now, and I know people don't want to hear this, and I know people don't like doing this, but bronze pack method right now is a great way of making coins. So if you're left with 10, 15, 20,000 coins and you just need some more, BPM is a good way to make some more coins. And so just off of the 20,000 or so coins that we've got, I want to see what team I can build for going into our first game of rivals. So let's have a look. And that, guys, is this team right here. So we still just have Frimpong in at right back. We didn't manage to buy a Premier League right back, but Frimpong with this new chemistry system will get a minimum guarantee of his base stats, which is really good pace, good stamina, and a reasonable card outside of that. I went and picked up Joe Gomez in the centre-back role for 9,700 coins. We've got Fofana as our other centre-back, and Kieran Tierney as our left-back for 5,800 coins. I went and bought myself 600 coins, and I would use, of course, a lot of this other other content that we've got available, all of these Rashford pairing up SBC, I would eventually complete and put at left mid over Cornet, who's not bad, by the way, but not ideal. But this straight away, guys, is a very good team going into Division 10 of Rivals. Right, this will get you some comfortable wins, start moving you up the divisions, help you amass that point balance, get you involved in other objectives being complete and other milestones being complete, which will allow you to either get more packs or very cheap. And of course, if you have better pack work than me in those 50k and 25k packs, which you will most definitely will, we will serve dirty, you will end up with much better players in your starting lineup after less than 1 hour of FIFA 23, and that's what we've got. So guys, that is how to start FIFA 23 Ultimate Team. Thank you for watching. Let's see you next time. I'm out.
At the moment. Etc.
Steve, that's a fax. That is facts.
Which bit?
We've got Redman TV in the chat saying if we hit 5,000 subscribers during the stream, Steve will go bald.
Yeah. Okay, second half underway then. Brighton kicking towards the Kop after turning Liverpool around in the first half.
Yesterday, Football Manager announced the new headline features coming to FM23 in a 42-long-minute video. Today, I'm going to break that video down into something a little bit more manageable and go through all of the new changes, features, and additions to the game.
The Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
I rushed this video out last night. I wanted to sleep on it and I wanted to try and come to some more balanced conclusions, because I think a lot of people came away from the video last night with the sentiment that I've tried to convey in the thumbnail of I'm not too sure. If you've not seen Ethan's video and you want to watch it, I'll put a link in the top right of the screen. It is a long watch, but it's really nice to see how passionate the developers are about the game, and that's really nice to see because it obviously means they care a lot about the game that they make. So the biggest revamp to the game is in recruitment, which has had 4 major changes. You now have a squad planner where you can have a top-down overview of your entire team. You can rank all of your players, and your staff will use this data to help with the recruitment process in identifying weak or underdeveloped areas of the squad. Your players won't know their ranking in their squad, so you can put your star player as the 5th best player in the team, and he won't get cross with you for it because he has no idea what you rank him as. You can also add transfer targets to your planner, bringing players into your shortlist to see what your team might look like if you can actually sign those players. You can also plan up to 2 years in advance, which means you can factor in the development of your young players. Scouting has also had some fundamental changes as well. Gone are the scouting completion percentages, and now you've got 4 levels of knowledge on a player instead. Essentially, if you leave your scouting up to your chief scout, they'll send your scouts out looking for players. A wide net is cast as initial reports come in, and they'll whittle the pool down, getting rid of a dead wood. You can set your own parameters for scouting, for example a 6'5" centre-back, but you will be told of near misses of players who could make it but might just miss out on some criteria, that being slightly too short. That way you're not going to miss some players who could be amazing as they slip through the cracks. It sounds like the quality of the scouts are going to be really important, but personally I think I like to do a lot of manual scouting in Football Manager, so I think I might stick to the manual scouting a little bit more, which actually does involve using the sponsor of today's video, the One Football app. I like to use the One Football app to look for young wonder kids to see if they're actually playing football in real life, and if they're playing football in real life, that gives me an idea that they're actually going to have a really high potential. For example, if they're playing regular football in the top flight of their domestic league, probably means they're pretty good at doing that at 16 years old. And if you want to do a whole ton of scouting, you can actually watch live games on the app now, which is a really cool addition. So if you want to help me and the channel out, you can download the One Football app from the top line of the description for absolutely free. There have been some big changes to agents as well. Previously, you used to be able to ask an agent if a player wants to join a club, and they'd say yes or no, and how much money they want, essentially. Now you can start a dialogue with agents and you can say, well actually, that contract looks a little bit too expensive, can you bring that price down a little bit? So you can sort of pre-negotiate things a little bit too. You can also talk to your own players' agents about contract renewals as well, which is very handy, particularly when they don't want to sign contracts. Maybe you'll be able to convince the agent to convince the player to sign that new contract. And finally, for recruitment, it seems that recruitment meetings have been changed as well. It sounds like you're going to get 3 per season, but the context of them is all uniquely different. So if you first join a club, they're not going to try and ram some players down your throat to sign. It's more about setting up some scouting reports as they try and find players for the next transfer window or potentially towards the end of the transfer window. But obviously that will change season on season. You'll then get a meeting midway through the transfer window where they talk to you about what's happened in the transfer window so far, what targets have you got, what positions have you filled in the team, who's been sold from the club, and what you still need to do. And if you need it, there's going to be an emergency meeting on deadline day as well. So let's move on to the match AI and animation, and it sounds like they made some really nice quality of life updates here. Firstly, AI managers have been improved and should more closely resemble their real life counterparts in the match engine. Although this quote threw me just a little bit.
Now our AI managers, they can select the right formation, they can select the right tactical instructions, so hopefully go into that tactical battle with not just the human manager, but also the other AI managers.
It kind of makes it sound like previously managers weren't managing properly, which is a little bit concerning, but if anything, it kind of does highlight that maybe FM23 is going to be a little bit harder than previous games, so a bit more of a challenge. There are now more tactical tools, particularly out of possession, to build more defensively sound and counter-attacking formations. Lines of engagement have been more simplified into low blocks, mid blocks and high press to fit in with more up-to-date football terminology. Given they've made quite a bit of a song and dance about this, I'll be interested to see how effective these are in the game, and particularly if the AI use them quite a lot and if there are ways around it. On the animation side, movement should be a lot more fluid, particularly with goalkeepers and players in the air. The next big thing they spoke about was the UEFA license. Of course, I'm going to mention the UEFA license. It's a big coup for them getting that UEFA license, particularly in the world of EA's. For them, all the logos and branding were plastered all over the game, but a lot more stuff has been added that you won't just get from installing a third-party logo pack, such as team screens at the start of matches. You'll get to see the Champions League ball waved in the centre circle as the teams come out, and bespoke podium shirts depending on what competition you're in. Also, the cup draw screen is now a full experience with an announcer listing things off and a dynamic social media feed at the bottom. As someone who will actually go and sit through all of the cup draws in Football Manager, because I'm a bit weird like that, this actually feels like a really big feature for me. I'd actually really enjoy this, so I'm looking forward to sitting down for 20 minutes and watching the entire draw. Supporter confidence is now a big part of the game as well. The fans are now much more involved in the game, and you can see the expectations, such as winning the club's big derbies, as well as a breakdown of the fans globally. The fans will have an influence on the board, and I suspect this will be stronger at smaller, well-supported clubs or teams where fans are incredibly passionate. Think about Serbia or Turkey, for example. It was hinted that fans might have hidden attributes in the game, which obviously affects how they affect the board, so I'm looking forward to seeing if that's true and how many good experiments we can make with that. That's going to be quite interesting for me. And the final thing they spoke about was the dynamic manager timeline, which is essentially as part of the season review at the end of the season, you'll get a timeline of notable events from across the season, and that's expanded on each and every year, building up a nostalgia-filled timeline of your save, which actually is quite cool. And they are the headline features all wrapped up, and I think a lot of people are going to come away from that not feeling particularly enthused. I think a lot of people will come out of that saying, like, where are the big sweeping changes to the game? Where are these massive new features? But I think we have to remember it's Football Manager, right? It's a game that comes out every single year. For a sport, that doesn't change. Like you can't just add a zero gravity mode, for example. Like it doesn't exist. It wouldn't be realistic, would it? The fundamentals that make Football Manager great are staying, and they make improvements and evolutions every single iteration of the game. Think about your favourite games, right? Like Call of Duty, for example, or Assassin's Creed. Yeah, the maps change, the stories change, but fundamentally, the game mechanics and the core values of the game are the same every single time, right? You're still shooting people, you're still an assassin. It's just the incremental improvements every single time in each different version of the game that get made. Although, Assassin's Creed has gone massively downhill since it changed to an RPG style, but let's not talk about that because that's not for this video, but I've not been happy really about it. I think the fact that it's branded as headline features is maybe the issue here for people, because they're not brand new massive changes, they're evolutions of existing features in the game. But that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing at all, because for me, when I'm looking at a brand new game, particularly an annual game like Football Manager, I look at what's announced and I have to say to myself, right, number one, does this thing make the game better than it was last year? And number two, does this make the game more engaging than it was last year? And I'll be honest, I think all these headline features that they've announced do that. I think they do make the game better than last year, and I do think they add immersion to the game. So on that basis, I'm pretty happy. Recruitment with the planner looks a lot more immersive. Agents have been improved. I mean, I'll probably end up still doing my own scouting, and I'll probably explore the scouting meetings, recruitment meetings as well. But they have improved them from last year, so that's good. The Mac AI animation seems to be some good general quality of life updates. Obviously, it's not FIFA level graphics, which is what we all want to see, but it's still some progress from the clips I can see on the trailer, which is good. New tactical styles for better defensive and counter-attacking football. If they're implemented well and they actually work, then great. That's a fantastic addition to the game, because it's adding more ways for you guys to play. The UEFA license, I'd argue it's not really a feature. I mean, it's great for them that they've got it, because they want to show it off. It's a huge coup for them getting the UEFA license away from people like EA. And of course they want to show that off. They want to try and implement as much as possible in the game with the license. They want to try and maximise that to its fullest. So I can understand why they want to show that off. To brand it as a feature is maybe a little bit I don't know, I'm not too sure how I feel about that being a feature. But it's huge for them in terms of brand recognition. It's huge for them in terms of being able to get more licenses in the future with other leagues and teams, because they've got that legitimacy for having UEFA. Like, it's legitimacy for them to an extent. So I can see why they want to push that so much. But I wouldn't call it a feature, but it adds immersion. It adds immersion, which obviously improves the game for me. So it's a plus. Support and confidence. I quite like this. It looks to add some more immersion into the game, adds an extra level of dynamics to the game essentially. So you've got to manage the ball and the support at the same time. So it's adding something to the game, which is a positive for me. And the dynamic manager timeline, yeah, it might be a little bit gimmicky potentially at the end of the season, but it adds some immersion. And if you can like export that some way into like a picture, like a JPEG or a PNG, right, and it's put on Twitter for people to see, that's so cool. You can then share your story properly with all these really cool milestones. So again, it adds an extra something to the game. It's a positive for me. So am I happy with the additions to the game? Yeah, I am. It makes the game better than it was last year, and it adds some extra levels of immersion. Am I disappointed that they haven't mentioned things like a custom set piece created that's been broken the past few years? Yeah, I'm a little bit annoyed about that, because that's something everyone's been crying out for a long time. Am I upset they've not added things like improving medical facilities, for example, to make that a bit more immersive? Yeah, but that might come in future editions of the game. And of course, these aren't the only features. They're going to be announcing more features in the upcoming weeks before launch, so there could be time for them to announce this sort of stuff down the line, and just didn't see it as a headline feature. But even these features weren't in the game, would I buy the game regardless? And the answer is probably yes. I am quite biased probably, because Football Manager is my favourite game, and I will buy it every year, and I'll play it every year. So, of course, I'm going to be biased, and I suspect a lot of you guys are quite biased in that regard as well, that you will just buy the game every year because it's what you do. It's such a great game, it's your favourite game. The people these headline features need to appeal to are the new players of the game and the more casual player who will only pick up Football Manager every 3 or 4 seasons or so. And when you market general evolutions of the game, which, to be clear, I think do make some big improvements to the game as headline features, when the only new feature is probably Squad Planner, for example, which I think looks pretty cool. But when you do that and call them headline features, and new players to the game see headline features and think, wow, headlines, the connotations behind the word headline are something hugely, wildly new. Like it's the tippity top of whatever it is, right? I think people will see that and they'll come away with that sort of sentiment. I tried to put the thumbnail of like, well, I'm not really too sure about this. What's the big reason for me to actually upgrade to FM23? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, because obviously as a person that plays it all the time, I do think this is going to make the game better, but I think for the casual player, they're not going to be too fussed about these new additions to the game so much. Now, if you are one of those people that do want to get a copy of FM23, I've got an affiliate link with Fanatical down in the description. Fanatical are a Sega authorised retailer, meaning they get all of their Steam codes directly from Football Manager themselves. Right now you can use code FM23TOMFM at checkout to get the game for £32.05, which is about £4 cheaper than you get it on Steam. You get sent straight away a code to redeem on Steam, and then it just waits in Steam for the beta's launch probably towards the end of October, so you get beta access and everything like that. Essentially, you get the game for cheap, and I get a bit of commission from it, so it's a win-win situation for everyone involved. And if you want to stay up to date with all of the latest Football Manager news, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel. I'll bring all the news as and when it comes out for you guys to see. I'll break it down, hopefully, in some fantasy instructive ways for you guys to have a good discussion in the comment section about. And actually, there are some features that they didn't even mention in this headline feature reveal trailer that they have done in some other sort of teaser trailers, such as the squad matrix, which looks quite interesting. So I'll put a link on the screen right now for you guys to watch that video if you want to find out more about that and the secret trailers they've been putting out over social media.
He's made sure that that won't get through. He's making on the right. Position to make that interception.
Hi YouTube, my name's Sealand. We're here live on stream, which of course if you want to check out at any point you can find the link down in the description. We are beginning the process of filming a YouTube video here on stream. And what we are doing is, the game just came out while we were streaming. We are hunting for the finest Wonder Kids. And just for those that actually don't know, and if you do know, maybe you can skip this part, I'll make sure to put sections in the video how potential in Football Manager actually works. And so I've broken out a trusty notepad here. And what we can see is that there is only one player. We've gone into our player search with the editor on, and we've looked for potential ability of 191. So potential is on a range of 1 to 200. Same with current ability. So Yusufa Moukoko is the only player 21 or under with a potential ability that hits 191. If you are under the age of 21, your potential is likely a range. Now, I say likely, it is not always a range, it is just sometimes a range. Somebody like Bukayo Saka, I believe his potential ability was hard-coded like 171 or something. So it doesn't always have to be a range, but in this case it is, right? With Yusufa Moukoko, he is so young, and usually it is older players, 19, 20, 21-year-old players, that end up not having a potential range. They have a hard set potential ability because the people at Football Manager, the people at SI that do the scouting, feel like they have a really clear idea of how good that player is going to potentially become. And so under the age of 21, your potential is likely a range, which means when I make this video today and we load up the database and we find people whose potential is high or low, that doesn't necessarily mean it's always going to be exactly that. So we search 191 because that means that the range, which is 30, so we're talking from 200, which is better than Lionel Messi, better than Cristiano Ronaldo, better than anyone you've ever thought of, ever, in 170, which is pure bona fide world class, really high level. You can score 30 goals in a season with a major club, but you are not Messi or Ronaldo. You're Luis Suarez, you are Benzema, you're in that category. So what I'm going to go through and do now is we're going to go through and find and rank the top. What do you guys say? What do you guys, 10, 15, 20 Wonder Kids? How many are we ranking? How many are we grabbing and we ranking? What do you want to do? Top 21, 20, 15, 420. Internet. All right, so we're going to do 20. I've seen a lot of 20s. We're going to go ahead and rank the top 20 Wonder Kids in Football Manager that we can figure out right now. And you need to understand that it's falling in this range, so it is a 1 in 30 chance that the player will be exactly at that level of potential ability when you open your save. But it is incredibly likely that that player will still be good. Cool? Let's go find Wonder Kids. But of course, now that we know how this whole potential thing works, and maybe you skipped that because you already knew because you were cool, we have to rank the top 20 Wonder Kids in Football Manager. So let's do it. We start with we're actually starting with some honorable mentions. Those honorable mentions include former Football Manager lead Wonder Kid Rayon Cherky, who actually has a potential range of 150 to 180. He's still very good. His current ability starts at 112. The young forward player from Lyon, still a very talented player, not good enough to be here. Benjamin Šeško, the Tower of Power from Slovenia, plays for Salzburg. He's an 18-year-old center forward you might be interested in. Nicolo Ravella, who is definitely a talent. Nicolo Ravella, who is definitely a talented player. He's also not somebody that's easily accessible, and he's 19, just a bit too old for the level of ability he's at. And the same can be said for Jeremy Doku, who just narrowly missed this list. Josko Gvardiol, who nearly made it because the Chout down there having a good time. We actually thought 21 was Ryan Klavenbach, who nearly made the list as well, even though he's developing slowly and used to be one of the beloved wonder kids on the face of the earth. No, none of those people were good enough to crack our top 20 wonder kids. The official physical parameters, you have to be 19 years of age or under at the start of the game's database, and it turns out that the bar is set on the low side of a potential range of 150 to 180, or what we would call, since now you understand, -9. Number 20, Southampton fullback Pino Livramento. Man, they gave him some offensive skills. That's what I'm talking about. Pino Livramento is about halfway through being 18. He comes in as one of the only defenders on this list, and he's a fullback to boot. He plays for Southampton, so he's actually pretty accessible if you want to go sign him. His current ability comes in at 128, which is not quite as high as you'll see from other people on this list, but he's also younger than some of the 19-year-olds that he just made the list ahead of. His potential range comes in -9, 150 to 180. And as you can see when we look at his attributes, not only is Tino big and athletic, he has a really nice set of offensive skills for an 18-year-old fullback. This is a very rare instance of a type of wonder kid that you find that actually has a complete set of skills at the fullback position to threaten offensively, but also play good defense. Solid work rate for an 18-year-old, good stamina for an 18-year-old, and can tackle. The positioning needs some work, but that's the sort of thing you learn as you get older in the game. Number 19, Harvey Elliott. We need another key. Not the 17-year-old in the Elche U19s, but the guy is in the scouting for Football Manager, but I'm not going to go there. Because what we have determined as a community here on this stream is that these people deserve to be on this list. And even Noni Madueke is 19 years old. He deserves to be on this list. Out of everybody we've talked about so far, including those in the honorable mentions, he has more current ability than all of them. And that's because he not only brings a really good technical skill set that is on par with Harvey Elliott's, he's got better dribbling, and he's a much better athlete. He's got really good change of direction at 19 years of old. Like I was saying, he's 19 years of age. The flair, which is something a lot of people overlook when it comes to dribbling. The actual personal level, he's one of the growing number of English players that have left England and gone on to make their careers other places. And in real life, he started off a stormer with PSV this season. Although apparently now he's two, which is unfortunate, but in Football Manager, he's not. That was a pretty good smile. 17, we're taking a trip into the Beatles song collection.
This is for
the
top
Yellow
of the league.
Submarine. Villarreal's Jeremy Pino, an 18-year-old winger who's got a pretty similar skill set. He's a good passer, he's intelligent, and first team player with a team.
You can't make this shite up. Me as Spezia.
The versatility and the fact that he is basically either-footed, which makes him incredibly versatile. He fits into anybody's team if you can get your hands on him. And
12 games in, we're 1 point off the league.
Number 16 is the only player not based in Europe on the entire list. It's a 16-year-old named Angelo. This is the sort of one that gets everybody excited. Not only is he not 18 or 19, he's 16. You probably haven't heard of him, but he's the 16th wonder kid in FN22. His current ability is actually already 115 on the scale of 1 to 200. He's
They were in Syria last year, so
but to lay off the numbers, we're
it's not like they're like some random unknown team never heard of before.
Be almost in the game.
Look at the card now, it's looking better.
Really solid skill set and has begun to make first team appearances for Santos, which you may remember is the club that Neymar came from. So this is, I mean, it's Brazil. You could probably walk into a local park and find a world-class player, but that's not the point. This guy's got the pedigree. He's already at a very high level in a country where being at a high level at this age makes you a deity of some kind. A player to watch out.
Oh my god.
So you have to get ready now.
Yep. Absolutely.
You can move your stairs on the way out.
Alfonso Davies, Jamal Musiala basketball challenge. I want to see that jump shot.
It's just gonna be the most classic UK jump shot. But I'm pre-calling it. It's gonna be this, yeah? But one of them at least is gonna go.
No, they actually play basketball.
Oh, they play basketball?
Well, like, yeah, they're like, look, check this free throw.
Oh.
Jamal Musiala grew up in England. He just chose to. He chose to play for Germany.
Who?
Musiala.
Yeah, what are you saying about him?
He grew up in England.
Oh.
He just chose to play for Germany instead.
I'm getting warm. One more.
It's a bit too motion.
Okay, it's your turn, is it?
Yeah.
It's a bit stiff. What's Fonzie's jump shot saying? He's in Canada, bro.
Who's that?
Alphonso Davies.
Oh, it's Alphonso Davies. I was literally thinking, don't worry.
What were you thinking?
Because like at first, before you said that was, what's it called, Musiala, I thought it was Arsenal. I thought they were playing in the kit.
Oh, bro.
Then
This guy grew up in Canada, can't make a 3-pointer.
Yeah. He should have that agent range.
Never seen Woo up this mad before. Why are we here?
Click on it. And save your game real quick.
New King Python and Giant Tarantula, the most lifelike creepers around, with robotic tech to move just like the real thing. Our biggest creatures ever. A lot of giant creepers from Zuru.
There's over 30,000 species of fish. Did you know fish breathe through their gills? Is that a crab?
Yeah, it's a crab.
This crab lives in the ocean too. Did you know turtles are basically the same animals as fish?
I thought fishes
You're not asking me
are
to do
animals.
anything.
Fishes are fishes. And animals are animals, right?
Fishes are animals.
So glad I ain't got a daughter. You ain't gotta get no doll. Where's who up at? Dude, what is that, dude?
A dolphin.
I never understand the whole popping thing. Huh?
Can I get this?
I guess. One thing, huh?
Look at, you see this hotel, right?
Yeah, what about it?
Why is there no